we're running a little bit late because of the fact it was storming. Oh my goodness. There was so much thunder and lightning, and we had so much rain, torrential rain. So I needed to wait a few minutes because I thought if I got started with you, the power might go out, something would happen, and we would get cut off. And I wasn't sure if I could bring you back in. So I thought I'd better wait until the weather was just a little bit better than what it was then. So while we're late, we are never forgotten. So I'm just so glad that you're here. Now, today in the kitchen, we have some plans. And one of the plans had to be changed, but there's always so many things to do in the kitchen. So let's get started. We're going to start today, and I think I'm going to put together a cake. And it's going to be a bundt cake. We're going to do a 7-Up cake. And in my family, 7-Up cakes are the cake because my son-in-law in particular absolutely loves 7-Up cakes. And it's his favorite. So because of that, we have had to learn very quickly that we had to keep the 7-Up cake going. And I am moving around because I forgot my glasses, and I'm going to go and get those glasses because I have to be able to see. So got the glasses ready to go, and then we're going to get in the kitchen, and we're going to be ready to get that cake together and get it in the oven. Now, if time allows, we're going to do some prepping for a quick Saturday weeknight meal. And my plan is to prepare these ribeye steaks. So we're going to get them marinated before we go. So just so you know that that is what our plans are for today. So we're good to go. And you just stay right there with me, and we're going to get it going. I've got a few things that I tried to make sure I had done, and because we're using YouTube for our live today, I am adjusting a few things and trying to make sure that I have a good view. Now, I know my regulars, because of the fact that they're usually looking for me about 10 in the morning, that it may take a little while for people to come on. And that's okay. That's okay, because we're going to keep it moving. So we're in the kitchen, got the apron on, and we are ready to go. Now, in my bowl, I have already placed in my butter. And I have in 1.5 cups of butter. So let me get this plugged in. And I don't have my KitchenAid with me, so we're using the hand mixer. So I'm going to get this whipped up. And it may be just a little bit noisy. And I'm going to check to make sure our sound is good. And so we're going to get this nice and creamy. So we've added in the butter. Hello, Ronnie. Hello. Glad you're here with me. We're a little late today, but that's okay. We had terrible storms. And so I had to wait until all that got over with. Now I also we have, like I said, 1.5 cups of butter. And I am going to put in 3 cups of sugar. Now I'm making sure I got my directions here because, I'm subject to get to talking to you and forget all about it. So let me add that. I'm going to start to add in the sugar. I'm going to put about half of it in. And we're going to mix that. I've got it on the mixer on high, so it's going to be just a little bit noisy. But that's okay because we're working with time. I had great plans to make ice cream today. But just don't think I'm going to make it today. We may have to do that another day this week because I've got everything ready to go. It's just about time. So we got the first half of the sugar in. I'm going to add the second half. And remember, there's 3 cups of sugar that we got in. So I'm going to cream the butter and the sugar. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I'm certainly hoping that your day was not met with, we woke up to thunder and lightning. I mean, big lightning, loud thunder, and lots of rain. So I can't complain, really, because it's been so hot and so dry. And I know many of you are suffering through the same thing because when I looked at the weather map the other day on television, it looked like the entire United States was on fire. It was so hot. And of course, you know, Great Britain is suffering through a bout with the heat as well. And they certainly are not used to it. You know, we're used to having hot summers. Now, not as hot as what it is right now, but we are certainly used to the hot summers. So I am getting our butter and our sugar all together. Now, we also have to add 5 eggs. So I'm going to put in the eggs. I'm going to try to do it with my left hand and do one at a time. There's one. We're going to beat that in, and we're just going to take our time and get this mixed up well. This is a delicious pound cake, and it goes with all kinds. Hello. I see Khadijah and Bonnie are out there chit-chatting. That's good. I hope you all are well. And we are just trying to enjoy the summer and get around the heat. Kadia, I thought about you yesterday. We went to an herb garden, and it was, I won't say, to look at it was not necessarily striking, but they had so many herbs. And this was in a place called Georgetown. And it's a very historical location. And we had a chance to do a little walking around, just spent the day, nice day. But their herb garden made me think of you. And I know you have been trying to help us get started with those gardens. And I have to admit, my garden is not growing. It is just not doing. This heat has not been kind, and we're doing the best we can. Now I'm on egg number 3. There we go. And I hope maybe your garden is doing much better. We haven't had, now fortunately, we've had quite a bit of rain. And so that part of it, you know, it's just that everything looks brown, not because of the fact that, you know, it's been dry. It's brown because we had way too much rain. And I think many of the plants are starting to rot because there's just been too much rain in our area. So I purchased herbs. We have in the refrigerator. Oops, there we go. There's our egg number 5 in. And we are working on that. Hello, everyone. You're taking a break. Oh, good for you. Oh, my goodness. It's quite warm, I think. Wow. That is wow. I can't believe how many locations are in the hundreds. I know we've had the heat index, it'll go up in the 90s, but then the heat index is somewhere around 104, 105. You're absolutely right. The humidity is horrible. And, having big guys been under the weather and dealing with that humidity has not been kind. So I am thankful that we can get up and out, but you know what? It's just not always what we like. We are making a 7-Up cake, and my son-in-law loves 7-Up cakes. And so I was laughing with my daughter. I told her, I said, you are the expert at 7-Up cakes, because she makes them. For a while, I think she was making at least one a month, if not one every couple of weeks, because they had quite a bit of company and it was quite busy. But that's not usually one of the cakes that if I'm going to make a cake, that's not usually one that I do. Whew. Okay, now we have a moment of quiet. Now, what we're going to do at this point, our eggs and sugar and what else I have? Egg, sugar, and our butter have been creamed. Now I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons. This is it. Sounds like a lot, but it's not. Not 3. I'm sorry. 2 tablespoons of lemon extract. I'm going to add that in. And that's 1, 2. These little bottles of pure extract, I couldn't believe how much they have gone up in price. When I had vanilla, but I didn't have lemon. And when I picked it up, oh my goodness. And depending upon the name of the extract, that kicked the price up even more. All right, so we're going to turn this back on and we're going to mix. Now we're going to mix it, and I'm going to mix it on high for about 1 minute. And then we're going to start to add in our flour. Now let me tell you, I've already got my flour, and we don't, according to this recipe, and this is a 7-Up recipe from the 7-Up site. So I don't have to add, because of the lemon, I don't have to add any salt. So I have 3 cups of flour, and you're going to make some. Oh, yummy. Have you done lemon extract? I haven't. I have done vanilla extract to make it homemade, but I haven't made the lemon. Now I'm going to grab a large spoon so that we can start to, in just a few minutes, start to add in the extract, because start to add in the flour. Once we add in the flour, then we know we're just about done. Now I have already, while I'm doing this, I have already oiled and floured the bundt pan, and I'm determined that this cake is going to come out nice. Oh, I'll have to try that. I haven't, like I said, I haven't tried lemon, but that is certainly one that I would like to have on hand, because not that I do a lot with lemon, but I do like you've made clove, lavender, and rose. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to go look on your site or look in your book, because I downloaded one of your books, and see if that lemon extract is in there. And if not, I'll be contacting you. Okay, I've got my spatula here, and that may be something we might have to do on a Saturday morning. We'll put together some extract. That would be fun. Okay, so I've got everything down, and I'm going to add in about, I'm going to say about half of the flour. And I'm going to put this on low because I don't want it to, you just can't mix a lot once your flour is in. Now I'm using white lily flour. That's what I have, and that's what I'm using. And this is going to be a pretty heavy batter. And so we're going to mix this for about a minute. And then we're going to add in the rest of the flour. Okay. Now I'm going to get the spatula, scrape it down a little bit. And we're not going to add in the 7-Up until after all the flour's in. So we're going to add in the rest of the flour. Make sure I have all of that. And make sure you can see. Okay, there we go. And I think before I start mixing, just because I want to be cautious with how long I mix, we're going to open up our can of 7-Up, and we are going to measure out 3/4 of a cup. So I've got the 7-Up, got my 3/4, let it bubble down. There we go. Right there. Okay, make sure I got it right. All right, so I have that ready and waiting, and I'm going to go ahead and mix the rest of this flour in, and then we can add the 7-Up, because adding the 7-Up is going to be the last thing that we do. We will scrape down the sides of this bowl and give it a 1-minute mix, and then pour it into the pan. This is one of those cakes that comes together very quickly. It is great for travel. And good morning, good morning. If not family coming over every Saturday, I have friends that come over. We like to play cards, and we have a couple of couples that we alternate with, and we play cards and just enjoy Saturday evenings, and it's always a lot of fun. All right, now I'm going to add our 7-Up. All right, it's in and it's bubbling. And I am going to do that last 1-minute mix. And you can just see, I don't know if you can see if I can bring you down a little closer so you can see the bubble and the effervescence that's going on here in this bowl. And we're just in for one. I'm going to cut it up enough that I can get everything mixed up. Here we go. The 7-Up just gives it those good bubbles. And it's going to give it great flavor. All right. Now, using my spatula, I'm going to give it another little stir. Now, see if I can get things put over there so that this mixer is out of the way. All right, I'm going to use the spatula and give everything a good stir. Make sure I don't have anything lurking down there on the bottom. Everything. Isn't that a pretty batter? Ah. How pretty. And you know what I want to do. Oh, that tastes wonderful. Okay. So I've got my, like I said, the oven is preheated to 325. And this is going to cook for about an hour and 20 minutes or so. Now, depending on your oven, and you'll have to check that as to, I would say start checking at about an hour and 10. And that will give you a chance to see where it is. And if you think you need to cover it, if the top seems like it's getting too brown, then you can add a little bit of parchment or foil on top and just take care of that. So I'm just saying, this is going to be a big cake. So let me get all of it in there. And then we're going to give it a little zhuzh so we can make sure that everything is down. We don't want any strange looking cakes. We want it to look nice. Now, last week when we cooked, we fixed chicken, and oh my goodness, we had a great meal. And we had company for dinner. And a lot of times, especially on Saturday, when we have, a really, really nice meal, we'll try to have company. And we'll try to invite someone to come. Just depends. And sometimes we go out. But I want to make sure all of this is done. Now I'm going to take my spatula, lay across the top, and just kind of smooth that top out. Now, it is supposed, most of the time, your cake batter will pretty much level itself to a point, but it's nice to make sure that it looks nice before you get started before you put it in. Okay. I'm going to give it a little shake just to settle it down. Wash my hands, and then I'm going to put this in the oven. And then we're going to marinate those steaks that we were looking at. Hold on one second. Going over here, just give me a little turn. Going over here, and we're going to get these, get my hands clean. And I've got some things here in the sink. We've been working. We got things going on. So I hope you guys are having a good time and certainly enjoying your Saturday. It might rain, we might thunder, it might do all of that. But when we ran into this fella one time when we were in the Bahamas, and oh my goodness, we were in the Bahamas when there was a terrible tropical depression. We're talking about just a matter of a few differences in wind speed between that tropical depression and a true blue blowout of a hurricane. And we're on a ship. But after we got off the ship, our day was already set up. We had a tour that we were supposed to do. Well, the guy was so funny because he was bound and determined that we were not going to get our money back. So he got us in the car, and it was a nice limo, got us in the limo. And he said, as he's telling us where things are, now, let me remind you, it is raining so bad that we can barely see our hand in front of our face. But now, if you look right out your window to the right, you're going to see the such and such garden. And now, if you look over to the left, you're going to see this tree that is X number of years old. Shoot, I was just hoping that the tree didn't blow into the car or fall on the car. It was horrible. He said, and I guess he looked at us and he could tell that we were quite tense being out there. And he said, "Oh, it's just a little liquid sunshine." So I have kept that phrase, liquid sunshine, when the rain is coming down, because he said, it's really all about what's in here. And so rather than, some people tend to get depressed when it's raining, and rather than doing that, think liquid sunshine coming down, because we need the rain, and we need it as much as we need the sunshine. So they're all on the same level. We need a balance of both. Now, let's get that cake into the oven. Okay, now let's see if I can set this at, let's see, an hour 20. All right, timer 8:000 and start. Okay, so we've got the timer started and we are ready to get going. Now, let's work on those steaks. You know, when I told you when I went to the store that I was in sticker shock just for the extract. I just could not believe the price of extract. And I guess that's because when I buy extract or make extract, it kind of puts you out of that aisle of the grocery so that you're not looking at it every month, you know, to purchase those extracts. And so what happened was that I hadn't had to buy it in quite a while. So in fact, I don't think I've purchased extract since COVID. So that tells you that's been about 3 years. And I had that much of a supply. That, not that I wasn't cooking, it was just that I had plenty. So I'm going to take these steaks and I'm going to place them into a Ziploc bag and and shake them out into that Ziploc bag. Now what I like to do is that I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in. I'm going to put a little bit of house seasoning on both sides. And then I'm going to, what I call, beat the daylights out of this steak to make sure that he's good. So we're going to get this zipped up. I'm going to get a spoon, going to get our house seasoning, and we're going to get ready to marinate and to actually massage all of that goodness into these steaks. And they will be ready for tonight's dinner. Now, what are you guys having for dinner tonight? Tell me. It's got to be something good. You know, we've had hot dogs. Yesterday, we went to a cute little restaurant called The River. The River. I think that's what it was. The River. It was delicious. They had sourdough bread. Joy Wilkins Macmillan, hello, how are you? And they had their specialty was seafood, of course, because they're right on the water. And it was delicious. All right, let me get I'm gonna turn you over here so you can see where I'm going. I'm going over here into the cabinet. Get our house seasoning and get the olive oil, all of those things we need for our steak. Now we're also going to need, I don't have my tenderizer here, but when you don't have your tenderizer, then you pull out your roller and we're going to take care of this. We're going to beat him into what he's supposed to be. So I'm going to put you down just a little bit so you can see. I'm going to take a little bit of the olive oil and I'm going to drizzle over these steaks because I like to put the olive oil down first on one side and then the other. That keeps your hands, doing it in your bag helps to keep your hands off of what you're doing. It keeps things a little cleaner. And then once you're finished with this bag, you know, you can put it in the refrigerator if you need to, because I like to do this early so it has a chance to marinate for several hours before we're ready to cook. Now, of course, we could grill it, we could put it on cast iron, whatever it is, whatever way you want to do it, depending on the weather. But since our weather's been a little tricky, I thought, well, I got cast iron, so I am going to probably do it on the cast iron. So I'm just sprinkling this in, and I'm giving it a pretty good cover because, you know, I have everything in here and almost no salt. And that's a good thing because salt has a tendency sometimes to make meat a little tough. Now, you know, I just thought about it. I don't know if I have any Worcestershire sauce. So let's go over here and see if we've got some. And, all right. Well, Looks like no. But, I'm not going to let that stop me. What else have I got in here? I've got some cayenne, lime, and garlic. No, I don't want that. I've got a little kitchen bouquet. Don't want that. I was trying to see if I had any soy sauce, but I don't. I have regular steak sauce, which I think I might pull out the Heinz 57. And there's something else down here. What is that? Okay, we'll go with the Heinz 57. We're going to throw it on there. And that's going to give it a real kind of brown sugary taste. So we'll do that. So got the Heinz. We're going to give it a good shake. And I hope everybody's having an amazing Saturday. It really is a great day. And we're thankful for being alive, for being well. And I certainly hope you are. For those of you who aren't feeling your best, you just you do what the doctor tells you and pray. A lot of prayer. Have everybody praying. And if you have friends who pray, talk to them. Now let me get a fork because I do need to flip this. Remember I told you I'm trying to keep from touching it as much as possible. So I'm going to give this a flip so that both sides of that steak will get nice and tasty. Okay. There we go. We got Heinz 57 in there. And I'm going to try to get as much air out as possible. I am using ribeye steaks. Now, let me tell you, this apron, I think this one's from Denise. Now, I have another one, and I'm not sure that it's from Denise. Somebody gave it to me. But this one is from Denise, and one of her lemons. And I love lemon, easy peasy lemon squeezy during the summer here in the kitchen. And I go through bags of lemons. And I know some of you are fortunate enough to actually grow lemons. And I know D Lovely Life, if you ever watch her, she has lemons growing this year. And they are beautiful. And when we went to California, we were able to see some of the lemon plants. And amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, those kind of things are always a little exciting to me because it's so different from what we have here, what I have here on the East Coast. So, now those in Florida have probably weather where they can handle growing lemons, but it's not something you see a lot of in the mid-Atlantic. All right, so we've got our steaks here. And they are ready for me to work on. So I'm going to close up this container, get it out of the way so I don't make a mess. All right, our Heinz 57, all that's out of the way. Now, we're going to take this, and I have made sure that it was well sealed. And what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to take this and just give those steaks a good pounding. And what it does, it breaks down the fiber of the meat. So that's on one side, and you can see it looks very different from what it did initially. Now, we don't have ribeyes very, very often. We splurge every now and then, but you know what? Now, for this pack, I think it said 18. It was 18, yeah. It was $18.79. $18.79 for the two steaks. And when we went out to dinner and looked at ribeyes, they weren't nearly this size, and they were running like 15 to 20 to 21 to $28 for one steak. One steak. So I'm thinking that, this is a deal. Yes, I'll fix it at home, but that's okay. But I'm saving money because I am doing it myself. So that's always a good thing. Sometimes you think, well, I don't want to splurge on that. But another good thing is that once you pound these steaks, there's enough meat here for 4 people because it helps to break down those fibers, those meat fibers, and it actually gives you a little more to have. So when I fix this is actually enough for 2 dinners. 2 dinners. So I can fix half, or I can even just fix one just for the big guy and myself and save the other one right here in this bag, throw it in the freezer, and the next time I don't have to do any of this. I just take it out and have it ready to go, either on the grill or on the stove, whichever the case may be. So voila, this is ready for the fridge. I'm gonna put it in the fridge and let it sit in there for at least 2 hours. 2 hours. Now, tonight, I'm thinking I'm probably going to fix some quick baked beans, and not slow cooker baked beans. Thank you, Ronnie. Talking about those aprons, I love aprons, and I'm spoiled. Denise and the Apron Diva, they spoiled me. I like for those aprons to look nice and to be pretty, and certainly, once you have a really nice apron, it's really like putting on a dress almost, because you want to look nice. You want to make sure that the colors you're wearing with it are nice, and so it's a good thing. It's a good thing. In the words of Martha, it's a good thing. Okay, so I got things that I've put away. I've got some things to throw away, and then we're moving over here to the stove. Now for tonight, I think I'm going to put together a salad. And I don't know why these little legs keep folding up, but I'm going to put together a salad, and actually most of it is already ready. Just a matter of the vegetables. I just have to throw it all in a bowl. So that's easy. But like I said, we're going to put together a quick batch of beans. Now, since it's just us, I'm going to, in this little quart, this is a 2-quart pan that I've got here on the stove. And let me tell you what I did, because I haven't turned it on yet, but I am, and I'm gonna let it just slow cook and simmer here. Now in here, I have a half of an onion that I diced very finely. I also added in a green pepper a half that I also diced. I added in a tablespoon of mustard, and these were Bush's beans. And let me tell you, all beans are not created equal. Bush has delicious beans. Now these are the Bush I saw that, Ronnie, that I'll tell you all, if you didn't see her, Ronnie said that she was fixing spaghetti the other night, and you said you had on your apron, or you didn't have on your Apron Diva apron because you didn't want to get it messed up. And that's certainly the case. So we want to be careful when we're around those things, and especially tomato products just stain an apron. So let me show you what I use when I'm using tomatoes. A while back, I found this apron, and it is actually made out of oilcloth. with the little roosters, he's out of oilcloth. So when I have something really heavy duty, then I'm not going to put on, I'm like you, I'm not going to put on my beautiful apron. I'm going to put on an apron, but it's going to be one that I know that I can take my dishcloth with some soapy water, wipe it off, and it doesn't stain. And, it's one of those things you don't find them often. I think I found it actually on Amazon, but I've had this for probably 10 years. So it's been around quite a while. But anyway, we've got the roosters. So when you see me in the roosters, you know I'm about to really get dirty. Now, so we've got our wooden spoon. I'm going to get all of this mixed up. And so onion, green peppers, our mustard, and just because these are the bush beans and it has honey already in it. So I'm going to taste it to see if it needs a little more sweet. For me, it needs just a little bit more sugar. I'm out of brown sugar, or am I? Maybe not. Let me go see. We might have some brown sugar. And if we have brown sugar, then we'll have to add that in. It's so funny. When you're in different kitchens every now and then, you forget what you have from one kitchen to the next. So I'm going to be visiting my son in a few weeks. And so his kitchen is going to be different than this kitchen. Well, no brown sugar. So guess what? We're just going to get some sugar and we're going to be happy with it. So I'm going to take about a tablespoon of sugar. So let me get a scoop, fill up my tablespoon. There we go. Top on it. And let's go take this over to our pan. There we go. All right, we're ready to go. I am so glad that you all are here. It's always a lot of fun to cook when you got someone to talk to, and it just makes cooking a lot more fun. Now these are going to simmer down until these beans are nice and tender. I'm going to bring you in and get you close so that you can get down there in that pan. Those green peppers, the onions, and you know what? I put just a teaspoon of baking grease that I had left over from this morning's bacon. And I'm going to add a little bit of bacon into this. So I just need to pull that. Hold on. Let's get the bacon. There we go. I had cooked it this morning, and I'm going to get about 2 or 3. Well, let's start with 2. And I'm just going to break it up into little small pieces so it can cook down as this simmers. What time is it where you are? I can't, my clock here is set. I don't have my watch on, but my clock is set, so I can't really tell you what time, but we're going to probably eat about 5-ish, and this will be perfect. Now I'm going to put it down on low and let it go. And at about 30 minutes before time to eat, then we will take the top off, and this is going to be ready. Oh yeah, that's good. That's what I want. Now, to be honest with you, I hate that I was out of brown sugar, because brown sugar gives it that special taste. You could even, if you had some Sweet Baby Ray, You could add a little squish of Sweet Baby Ray in here because you know he's got plenty of brown sugar in there. 11:39 here in South Texas. Okay, okay. All right, that's good. Yes, I love my Baby Ray. I'm with you, honey. Love it, Baby Ray. So let me see. We might have a little bit of that hiding. Let's see if we can pull some of that out. I think I actually used up all of my Sweet Baby Ray. Hmm. Yes, I did. Well, phooey. Well, no Baby Ray today, but that's okay. So I'm going to put this on the stove. I'm going to put the top on it. And this is our quick. This is not our slow cooker because when I do slow cook baked beans, then I am looking for these to, I'm going to have more than just the regular canned baked beans. I'm going to add some other things to it. I'm going to add some other beans to it. Sometimes I even add meat to it. And we're able to get all of that done. Now, we, um, we have gotten the cake in the oven. And like I said, I was ready to do ice cream. But that's not going to work today. So look this week, because this week, this girl is going to have some homemade ice cream. My buddy gave me an ice cream maker, and you'll laugh because I know I've done the same thing of where you'll get something and you'll think, oh, I'm going to make ice cream, using that as the example, and there it sits. And you just think, I can go buy ice cream tonight. I'm not going to make ice cream. And so summer after summer goes by, and before you know it, you've had that ice cream maker for about 10 years sitting on the shelf waiting for you to make ice cream. I tell you, I may certainly add a little French touch to it. And because I really do love homemade ice cream, but actually this is going to be strawberry. And I had some beautiful strawberries the other day. And so I put those together, got them all chopped up and ready to go, and just kind of threw them in the freezer. And I thought, well, we'll put them in the freezer and then I can thaw them. So when I'm ready to do the ice cream, oh yeah, when I'm ready to do that ice cream, and just imagine 7-Up cake and strawberry ice cream with a little whipped cream. Ah, that'll be so good. So what I'm hoping that I can get home in time tomorrow. It doesn't really take that long to do because it's not a crank, it's an electric. Oh, yuck. I'm laughing. This girl is not a root beer girl. Not a root beer. I hadn't thought of that. But now the big guy would love that. But I'm sorry, no root beer. Not at this house. But we're going to have that strawberry ice cream. So if time allows tomorrow, I'm going to come in, get out of my clothes, and we're going to start the ice cream maker, and we're going to whip up some homemade strawberry ice cream to have after Sunday dinner. And that is going to be delicious. Now let's take a peek. I know we have to be careful. I'm taking it very easy so you can see. You see I got my pans in there. But you see that cake? It's coming up. So we have to be gentle with it. We don't want to slam the door because if we do, that cake is going to fall. And I'm hoping that won't happen. But anyway, and if it does, we're going to eat it no matter what. So like I said, I am just so glad that you're here today. And it's always fun. Now, we're going to be doing some babysitting for one of the grands. And this is her first year to go into kindergarten. Well, her year to go into kindergarten. I want to say her first year, but it is her first year to go to elementary school. And she is just excited. And I love it. I absolutely love it because whether you know or not, you know I was a teacher. And hi, Karen. And for my first 12 years, I taught first grade. And so I miss that. It's a good idea to, I don't know how to get those comments back up. Oh, there it is. So I can see. I'm not sure what kind of ice cream maker. It's a good idea to put on your mixing bowl in the free. Okay. Okay, Ronnie, that's a good idea. I'm glad you said that because I hadn't thought about that because this is the first time I've done it with this particular ice cream maker. So I will do that. I'll put that in the freezer so it can get nice and cold. And I'll do that tonight. And in fact, I'll probably do that as soon as we finish up here. I'll go ahead and do it because you know if I don't do it then, I'm going to forget. And I don't want to do that. But like I said, she's going into elementary school. And, you know, it is, I think about as a first grade teacher, how excited, truly excited first graders and kindergartners are when they're coming into school. And it just makes me smile every time she talks about it because the way her house is situated, she can look out her back window, any of her back windows, and she sees her elementary school. Now, it's not immediately behind her. It's a little distance, but she can see that school. And she is just, every time she goes to that window, there's my school, there's my school. And I know she's excited. So I'm going to have the pleasure of being there with her the first week of school and getting to see her and her buddies get to school, seeing them come home and how excited they're going to be. And, you know, it just takes me back to those early days of as an educator of seeing those babies come in every day because every day, I used to tell the big guy all the time, he said, how do you do it? I said, because every day is different. You know, there is never a dull day in a classroom. And especially when you have elementary students and primary elementary students in particular, every day is different. Every day somebody's doing something that's wild and crazy, or they've thought of something that's new, or, you know, they come in to tell you something that they're so excited about. And sometimes they're telling you things that they shouldn't tell. So, you know, it's like you just have to, it's one of those things I used to tell my kids, you know, you kind of have to say, okay, now you can't tell anybody. This is not to go to school, you know, when you hear about something or something, don't tell anybody at school that such and such happened. And so anyway, but, you know, 9 times out of 10, they told it. They told it. You know, they tell everything. Whatever the conversation is, it's dinner table. It usually ends up in the classroom. And so we just end up, you know, goes in one ear and out the other. And I had one parent, she says, she said, you know, so-and-so, I'm going to say Joey. Joey talks about you all the time and that you did da-da-da-da-da. And he just thought that was so funny. And she said, he talks about it every night. And I said, well, you know, I hope that the things that he's telling you are good things. And certainly, you know, that he's telling me everything too. So we'll just agree that whatever we hear goes in one ear and out the other because heaven only knows, you know, what comes across their mind and how they're going to tell the story. So, but, you know, little ones are cute and they're fun. So I am certainly looking forward to that. And we will take the time. Now, I'm going to take pictures of the cake. I'll probably take pictures of a finished dinner plate, so you'll have that on the community page and Instagram, get to see those. And because I have just about you've been with me almost an hour, and I try to hold to that hour. And I know some people don't, they kind of keep going until whatever it is finished. But on a Saturday, you've got things to do. And so I respect your time. Now, for those of you who are new to this family, I am so glad that you're here today. And I hope that you will certainly drop by again. Now, this is a summer edition. And depending upon the weather, most of the time we're on at 10 in the morning. But some Saturday mornings in the summer, 10 o'clock doesn't work. So that's why we came in a little later. But I'm looking, and some of the people that I certainly enjoy having right here in the kitchen with me, I think it may work better coming in at 12. So here's my question for you today before we go. What is the best time for you? And on the East Coast, which is where I am, I could certainly do anywhere from 12, 1, 2 o'clock. And if we need to make it a little bit later, and I know for those who are overseas, most of the time they're going to catch the show as a replay because most of them are asleep at this point. And so, and we appreciate that. But, and I miss being able to see them. But certainly, if I do 8 o'clock, then that's going to bump my West Coast people. They're going to miss the original show, and they have to watch everything on the replay. So let me know in the comment box or right here in the comment what you think the best time is. And certainly from looking at my California West Coast, it seems like it's somewhere close to 12 at this point. And is that a good time? If that's a better time for the live, because that works for me. That works for me. That just means I don't have to get up so early and fly around. Or if I have the kids here, I can kind of get them settled down, and then we can get in and do what we love to do and sit down together. Oh, Ronnie, you are so sweet. Okay, Ronnie said she's flexible, whichever time is works is fine, and that's great. Thank you so much for that. And like I said, just let me know whichever works best, because I know Saturdays are good days for me, but for some people they need another day. Sundays I kind of devote to church, and I may occasionally hop on, but hardly ever will I come in on Saturday. Now, I've got something planned for Monday that is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do a day in the life of on Monday, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's going to be funny. Trying some things I'm trying to get done, and as well, when you come to this house, you're going to have to sit and eat. And you're going to have a little something. West Coast. Okay. You wake up at 7. Oh, okay. Remind you to eat your breakfast. And you know what? Breakfast is important. And I have to admit, I'm terrible about that. Last week, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. Last week. Hi, Kim. Okay, Karen. Okay, Karen and Kim, they're flexible. All right. Well, last week we made the chicken. We did all the stuff last week. I was rolling last week. And about the time I got cleaned up, I knew I had some company coming in. And so I wanted to touch up everything at the last minute. And it didn't dawn on me until company was due here about 4. And at 3 o'clock, it was like I hit a brick wall. And I was trying to figure out, why do I feel so bad? I thought, oh no, am I sick again? And you know what it was? I had not eaten a thing. No breakfast, no lunch. So because I started later, I fixed the big guy his breakfast. I sat down and ate breakfast with him. And so at least I know I've had breakfast. So I've got energy to keep rolling because we need that. And, that's a good thing. We've got to take care of ourselves and take care of our body. Now, guys, I love each of you. I love each of you. And I am just happy when you're here in the kitchen. And I hope that you will have an amazing day because quite a few of you still have quite a bit of your day left to enjoy. And some of us are a little farther into the afternoon. But you know what? Anytime is a good time. And for me, anytime is a good time when you're right here in the kitchen of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme. So have a blessed time. Have a wonderful Sunday. And certainly think of me. And those who are here who are suffering with extreme heats, those who are, keep them in your prayers, those who are suffering from the fact that they don't have enough money for food to supply to their family. There are people who don't have the air conditioning that they need, people who may not have food that they need, people who are just struggling. And let's keep all of them in prayer. And we are certainly, each of us are blessed because we're here. And I thank you. And I will see you Monday right here in the kitchen of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme. God bless. Mwah.